good evening, and welcome. It's been a
Welcome,
minute.
welcome, welcome.
Good.
Why are you laughing, Maggie, already?
I'm sorry. Let me begin. Be serious. Okay. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Diversity and Equity in Education. All right. My name is Denise Thomas, and to the left of me, or right on your screen, is
April Cobb with April's Beauty Bar, and it's been a while. That's why we look and sound a little awkward. It's
yes.
been a while, but guess what? We have arrived this
We
evening.
here.
We have arrived.
We here. Exactly. We are well kicked off the 2023-24 school year, and it's been a doozy already.
That it has been.
That's all I can say. It's been a doozy already. All right. And I don't know about you at your school, April, but we have already lost unit. And so we've consolidated, which means everyone's classes have increased in size. And people just already starting a pattern of like I'm not coming to work on certain days, and it's just been a little rough. It's been rough. How's it been over there at on your site?
Well, for me, it has been no units lost. We actually have the most people I've ever seen on a campus that's in non-instructional roles. So yes, two um we got two success coaches, MTSS RTI individual, guidance counselors are on full intact. We have I want to say there's a behavior specialist, but I might be not that may not be correct. But we do have two individuals called interventionists. I'm not quite sure what interventionalists do, but they're there. We got a reading coach, we got a math coach, and yeah, we got a lot. Oh, we got our community um school person, and that person has a person, and then there's another person. So yeah, it's a lot of people that's not attached to children, but hey, we welcome it all if it's definitely going to do what's best for children.
Right. Yes. If it benefits the children, yes. That's a whole lot of extra. That's wonderful. That's when we are in the I guess we just trying to hold on to what we got over here. That's all we could say. And so as the school year just it kicks off, we've already had our conference night, and which we just share with parents like this, and this is what's going to happen. This is how the year is. Remember, as usual, my favorite statement is I don't give children F's. I simply I simply show you their measure of success or failure, and they get what they earn, right? So having said all that, we also know that this year, as I'm teaching multiple grade levels, um, we need to
Wait, you
look.
said multiple? That's just
Yes, I have
seventh and eighth,
this
right?
year. This year, I have seventh and eighth. After teaching eighth for like 5 years, I have seventh and eighth. So, and then multiple subjects. So it's not just reading, but it's critical thinking as well. So it's like, but the challenge is behavior, because you can push and push and push and push all we want, but until we manage the behaviors, you're really talking to space and air. That's where we're at right now. How are behaviors being managed? Well, obviously at your school you've got 1,001 uh, extra
Yeah,
people.
but that does not change the behaviors. What I have come to terms with is that we the behaviors have arrived and they're going nowhere. So I have decided to no longer put so much energy into that. And on the days that I'm there, I do the best that I can with with what I have in front of me. In the event they do not want to learn, they just do not simply stay in my space. That's just the bottom line. I will not be allowing any child to prevent other children from learning, including my own. So if you can't do what you need to do, go put your head on the desk, go on to sleep, but do not prevent any other children from learning. That's my bottom line this year. That is my non-negotiable this year. I will not revert from it. So that it is what it is. I refuse. So being that we have all those extra people, that mean those children can go with them in the event that they are choosing not to learn. But I will not. I won't this year. And with my health scenario, these feet are not having it. So I have been out some days because of these good old feet. Because one thing about it, the body decided at 50, the 5 and the 0, that you either gonna do what I tell you to do, or I'm going to make you do it. So I'm doing what my doctor is telling me to do and my body is telling me to do. So on the days I can show up 100%, I show up. The days that I can't, I'm going to take a seat.
I absolutely agree, because let me tell you, yeah, because these jobs will kill people. And so, and you'll be working, and next thing you know, you're not there. And when did you enjoy your life? That's the real question. When did you actually enjoy your life? You just worked until you died. And that is just a discomforting scenario. I've actually seen that happen to 3 people within the past year. And that let me know.
It's your life. And prayers go out to you, the young middle magnet family and the family of those individuals, because that's kind of scary. It should be like an awakening for, especially, you know how I feel about you when you decide to still go to work not feeling well. I be fussing, y'all. I be fussing, but she is committed. I be like, they be said that me. I'm not gonna say it. But they be saying, forget them kids,
right?
Forget that job. I be fussing at her because I be like, man, we've done our part. We've done it. We've done it. So when you're not feeling well, stay your butt home.
Yeah, I'm going to. I agree. I told April this is the year that I am not going to. You know how in the past years where it's just easier to just push through when you're sick because you don't want to deal with all the lesson plans and stuff like that. This is the year when I'm going to say, all right, if it ain't in that binder, that's y'all handle these kids, because I'm going to go home and that's where I will stay until I feel better, because I really and truly agree with the fact that if your body is telling you you cannot do this, you really can't. So you need to accept that you're aging, and also that you need to accept the fact that you just can't exert yourself so much that you are miserable and everybody else is okay. You know, and that's just for the sake of saying a body was in the classroom with the kids. No. Let me tell you something. There was a sub that came in one day, and poor little girl. I mean, she was truly a little girl, and she went in there with one teacher's class. I mean, the poor sis looked terrified. I felt so bad for her. I went in the room and I told her, take 10. I'm going to go ahead and take these kids to lunch. Just the last 10 minutes. I'm just going to take them with me, because you right now have no absolute control in this class. I can tell they are just, they've pretty much everything except swing from the rafters. Them kids they took over, and the class was ram-packed because, of course, whenever the teacher's out, everybody comes to class that day. So they come to terrorize us up. So it was just, I felt so bad for her. But I get it that if your body is telling you to stop and sit down, that's what you need to do, so that you don't spend your last days in a place where you're not appreciated. Okay. So we're gonna do that. But you're right. When it comes to behaviors, I also said this week, like, well, if you can't do something about it, why, if the answer is there's nothing I can do, then why should I do something? That's the question. So I look at it like, well, if you can't do something, you telling me that you can do nothing else other than keep on adding more kids to the class with the same horrific behaviors, and every teacher has said that child is horrible in their class. So you've got 7 teachers, and 6 out of 7 say they're horrific. The only person that don't have a problem is PE. Of course, PE, because they're running around outside sweating. So you're saying to me there's nothing you can do. So that means there's nothing I can do as well. That's what you're saying to me, because as far as I'm concerned, the door is right there.
And I want to just say this again, you know, I don't even know how else to say it. There are a lot of great things that goes on in classrooms, and there's a lot of great things that go on in schools. But all it takes is like about a good 10 per grade level that is a representation informally of about 100. They multiply by groups of 10 individually. And when that happens, they can shift the atmosphere of a classroom in what's called, what is inertia? Is that the word? Say it. What is it?
Inertia.
Inertia. That's what it is. I'd have made it a minute. Inertia. That's what they did. And it's that alone is getting worse every year. That one child, it used to be like one child could act out to give you the representation of like 3 or 4. Now it's like 10. They on 10 when they walk in the door. The 10 never decreased to like a 2 or 3. They just constantly on 10. For the time they walk in the room, it's yelling, screaming, hollering, cussing. You be like, so you got to speak to all 10 personalities. Stop, quit, don't. It's really what the key thing is that the teachers have in their immediate toolbox. But when you've come of age or season, like myself have, after sweetheart, sweet pea, stop, and then your name goes with it. After 2-3 times, I'm done. And no parents, nobody is picking on your child. Remember, I am only responding to what was sent to me less than 30 days ago. I just met them. I just met them. So please.
That's correct.
Not ownership, ownership.
Right, of your children.
Of the behaviors that they're exhibiting because they arrive with them.
Correct.
I'm just responding to them by not being accepting of what they're willing to, what they want to give to me, because I only allow excellence in my space. And I'm
correct. And parents, the excuse of medicine, that, I mean, I don't think I think I've spoken to 10 people, and 10 people have talked about what medicine they either did take, didn't take, what they didn't pick up.
But medicine don't have nothing to do with this.
Medicine ain't got a thing to do with it. And it's just, you know, he don't feel good about this. He don't feel well. If you know, I said, and I explained to one parent, and I think she could hear the exasperation in my voice. I said, your child, it comes in at 7th period, it's the last period of the day, which makes it 10 times worse. You want to just be at the end of the day. You just want to be can I please sit down for a minute? Everybody should be at mastery level, know what to do when you walk in the door. Just come in and sit down. And your child doesn't come in the room. Your child runs in the room, irritates other kids. When you hear a bunch of M and F from kids on the other side of the room because that child irritated them, and now you can't calm nobody down. So you got to stand there and stare at people. I look at my imaginary audience. I just look at my imaginary audience like this. Y'all seeing this? Are y'all seeing what's going on around me? Okay, because that is how some kids come into the room, and the excuse is, well, he didn't have his medicine. I said, well, I need you to understand something. You dealing with him, one child. Put 26 people in that room. 5 to 8 of them act the same exact way. And you expect us to start and be ready to go and then you want us to teach bell to bell. And then the walkthrough want to start. You want to have a walkthrough? But what's amazing to me is when we lost power this week, right? So when I got there at 6:30, buildings dark, everything's out of power. We're supposed to test on that day. Of course, obviously, state testing couldn't take place. No power, no nothing. All right. They were supposed to have a walkthrough on that day. They didn't show up for the walkthrough. Why?
No, they should have been right there with the walkthrough trying to figure out what to do.
Because if you want to talk about excellence and you wanted to actually look at me and see how fast I flipped things around and took it from a PowerPoint presentation to an actual, now I'm going paper, I'm doing chart paper, the kids are moving around the room. I mean, that's when you should have done my evaluation, because not only did I display mastery of I was also on the dime. I could flip it around and switch it. But y'all didn't want to come in this heat with the rest of us. And on top of that, all these behaviors in the heat. So I just need you to understand something, right? Parents, just like we're going back to April point. Parents, you got to do better. You got the help. Because again, you may only have to deal with 2 or 3 of them. But we got to put 26 people in a room with all those behaviors and expect them to learn. That's why I already told my AP this year. I said, let me explain something to you. Do not expect excellence out of this. You're not going to get it. If you telling me you can't do something, and telling you
so many in the classroom, like I will say, God bless that we don't have that problem. Not now. Let me say that. Because I think my biggest class is 23, and that's those classes are fused classes, but that's a whole nother conversation.
Right.
Fused don't exist how it used to, because our district is so short ESE staff wise to where they are, and this is my opinion because I have a children that also falls underneath this umbrella of if you're doing what's best for kids and you know that ESE, you know they need supports. If you put all the supports in their reading, meaning that the majority of the time for Fuse is going to be in the reading area, but you don't put a goal for math intentionally so that the Fuse teacher can only be used in reading because you don't have a second one, you're doing that child a disservice, because if they can't read,
Right, right. And on the opposite end of the spectrum for us, the teachers are in math. They're in math. They're not in reading. And reading to me is where we need them because first of all, we already know they're struggling readers. So with that many behaviors in the classroom, why wouldn't you put an additional teacher in the reading classes? Because
So I wonder what type of I will just use for the better choice of words, rubric or what are they looking at? Because that had to come from the district that those decisions are being made. So I don't know. I don't know.
And let me tell you how they setting children up for failure. They're not looking even at gains this year. You know, in the past you could just pull the gains. We're looking at gains. They just looking at complete bucket jumps. Well, wait a minute.
How y'all looking at complete bucket jumps when I thought that wasn't even that wasn't even possible right now? How?
I'm telling you like how it was told to me. Okay.
So the information that we're getting not even making sense. Let's do a quick shout out. So
yeah,
and then yeah. So we have Catalina and Gretchen on. Catalina is in the Amen corner with you, Denise, on numerous things.
Okay.
She said that a few in numbers will shift the whole dang day. Look, she wanted to say the whole damn day. I said the whole damn day.
That's right.
Now I will go ahead and insert myself in this. Y'all all know that I have this this grandson that he shifts teaches classrooms daily. But you best believe grandma don't spare the rod. But the thing is, when you have a classroom over what it should be in that younger age group, that makes it more challenging. I was always made to believe that in elementary, first grade, there was no more than 15 students. That's realistic when you got little people and you don't have an aide. Because back when I was a child, we had 2 teachers in the room, a teacher and a teacher aide, all the way to like 3rd or 4th grade. Now it's 20 to 20, it's 25 to some more added to it if need be in a first grade class. And kids with you know, attention deficit, you know, so on and so forth. He does have that. It just becomes a moment of when he don't have enough immediate attention and response from the teacher, he's going to show out. Disrespectful? I hope he not. But show out? Oh, yes. He's going to respond. And then it become a moment of now that teacher got to take away from her time to do what needs to be done. But I've always told mine, call me, somebody will come to get, because I don't believe in no child prevent another child from learning. And when he put his hands on other people's children, I put my hands on him. It's simple. Because you don't put your hands on other people's children or an adult. So those right there are non-negotiables. You get a good old-fashioned grandma spanking. But what you will not do, if you want to go to sleep, sir, go to sleep. But you will not prevent another child from learning. I'm a firm believer in that, and I teach. So that's why my tolerance is low. I tell her to call. I'm pretty sure she don't always. I'm not sure if that's because Abbott may say not to, but I'd be like, call me. We'll send somebody, even if it's an Uber.
And that's the thing. It's like I cannot stress enough how parents just need to help because they just do not. Every I know you're seeing things from your perspective and your perspective solely. But you have to sit. If you're sending your child to a school, you clearly they're going to interact with other people, and depending upon how you mix them in, because remember, it's all about the combination of kids. It's all about the mix in the classroom. Because, like for example, just speaking with some of my colleagues, there's a kid who I talk about, and I say, this kid is the best child in the world. I have no problems with him. He helps me. He does what he has to do. But to them, he's like, are you kidding me? We're not talking about the same person. We are not speaking about the same person. And the reason why it's okay, April, you still there? But the reason why is because of the mix of kids, the combination of kids in the class.
Went away.
I know, right? Exactly. Phone a friend. Call B. Call him.
That's weird.
I know, right? But you still on there.
Okay.
I mean, just phone a friend. Well, you put yourself on mute, phone a friend, do what you got to do. But what I will say is that it's the combination of the kids. People don't seem to understand that that's that is what's detrimental for us. That's stressful for us when you're putting a number of kids in the classroom who are um, the mix is just so it's just too much to mix them in like that. So you're looking at people who will behave in one class but they will not behave in another class, and that's pretty much the stress. There you go. Hey, that's the stressors for us, right? And then of course again the lack of resources. And we think we probably share. I think our counselors on campus, we think we share psychiatrists, we might share whatever, but we may have intervention specialists, but it's just every day you don't may not see a particular person on campus. And then other thing too is creating mentorship groups for them. There's not it's not enough. I think honestly we should have gone to an 8-period day where you actually build in a mentorship class.
It should have. And
Yeah.
a lot of that will afford teachers that necessarily would not get to learn the students as much as they possibly could, because it has to be very intentional in most instances. If you are the representation of a minority for that particular school, for the adults, meaning for the adults, it has to be time etched in to do it. Otherwise, it's just come in, sit down, content, regurgitate it, take a test. That's what it is, a rotation. So if you're not intentional about trying to develop the relationships and efforts to meet some of those children that require that in order for them to buy into what you're teaching, it needs to be time etched in. Like even if it was once a month, we have an eighth period day, like something like. But then the reason why we don't, right?
Yeah, because people don't want to volunteer to do it. Exactly. If they were paid,
that should be one of the application questions.
right? Are you willing to host a mentorship group or some kind of club activity or whatever like that? And of course, after working all day, a lot of people don't want to do it. But I think that if it was built in built into the work day as an 8th period, for us it would be an 8th period built in as an actual course at the end of the day, and it literally will shift the mindset of the kids because they know they have something to look forward to that is not completely academically related, but it's just something that, okay, this is a privilege to be in this particular class here because you want to expand. You can teach them about finances, you can teach them about art, you can teach them about just anything outside of the normal realm, and it'll open up and it'll make them, encourage them to do better. And so it's like we got away from all of those things that we used to have. Because I don't know about you, but I know for me, I had everything from I had home ec, I had art, I had a music class, I had not just a PE class, but a specialized class. If I wanted to take volleyball, I could have just taken a volleyball class. So there was just so many other things that you could have done. We had pottery, we had all kind of stuff, and we've gotten away from that, especially in the younger grade levels, because now they don't have an outlet. Their only outlet is their phone, and so now they just tied into that phone, and God knows all the crap that comes into the phone, because you want to talk about some books, but y'all checking your child phone, but you're talking about the books in my classroom that we need to scan. But I gotta get on a whole nother concept. This leads us right into the NAMI conference that you went to, because we all know about that mental health. That mental health is a key piece, a key factor, because this is part of the reason why we have issues with our children and our adults. Okay, tell me a little bit about that over the weekend.
So this past weekend, I had an opportunity to go to the NAMI conference, and I will say this year was definitely inspirational, and they provided a lot of content that was relatable for individuals that are not necessarily in the clinician or psychology field. So I definitely was able to walk away with, more in-depth knowledge about, what mental health versus mental illness is. Did you know there's a difference? I did. When you hear people talk about it, you think mental health and mental illness are one and the same, but no, it's not. Mental health, we all have mental health scenarios. Mm-hmm. We all go through a mental crisis at some point in our lives. It does not necessarily develop into a mental illness, which is diagnosed by a psychologist, a doctor, so on and so forth. That's the two differences. I was sitting there like, oh. So that's why it's very important for us to classify mental health as something that is a norm versus it has become what we know in the African American community. It's a stigma. because immediately when somebody come with the words mental health, it's automatically reverting back to it's a mental illness. They're two different things, and either way, both are okay. It's just a matter of us getting, proper knowledge about the difference between the two. Just because I'm having a mental health scenario, it does not mean definitely that I have a mental illness. It's two different things. Mm-hmm. So yeah. And Rachel, you're a NAMI member. Welcome.
That's wonderful.
I'm one of the board of directors for NAMI.
And for especially for people of color.
Yes.
When we cut on a TV and we see so many traumatizing images of Black people getting killed over and over and over again, it is important for us to really look at our mental health, because we are being traumatized. It's almost as strong as saying you're going to war, because you are seeing yourself being murdered over and over and over again. So that is truly if that ain't a time to sit down and talk to somebody about how you feel, do a deep dive into your feelings. It really is, because then this is how you react to the world. You're seeing the world and you're always on the offense all the time. Defense, I forgot, all the time. You literally like, hold up, hey, what you saying to me? Because you just don't know. Okay. So, but that's, but thank you for that, because I know that was good. I missed that one.
But we definitely need to get prepared for the NAMI Walk Hillsborough.
Yes.
And that's going to be at USF. And I want to say October the 23rd, but don't quote me on that. But we will post the information below. We have established numerous teams already, and we're super excited about hosting this annual event. And it gives opportunity for individuals to be able to connect back to what is now often used as a cliche in many organizations, that they use the word mental health. We do mental health, we do self-care, so on and so forth, but they do it in theory. Because if an individual tells you that I am not mentally feeling well and I need to be at home away from whatever the job may be, but then in the same token, you provide them a poor evaluation because of it, that means you really don't care. It's just in theory. And then we say that we provide what's the name of the line that we have? The mental health, so many sessions that you could get for free. Most organizations offer it.
You get 6 of them for free, I think it is.
Yes, but then when the diagnosis come back, that it's more, the person needs more time, and they need more time away from the workplace, then it's frowned upon. So it's either, do you support it or do you not?
Right.
Do you really? Because that's because I don't look physically disabled in a place to where I am not capable of functioning. That does not mean in the mind it's just not, you just don't see it. So it's very important that, we go beyond just the scope of it being mere words.
Right.
Organizations got to act upon it. Places of employment got to act upon it. Like, we don't just say we offer it, but then don't want the employees to utilize it. That's very important. So we definitely will put the information there, and definitely join us on that day. And it's normally a day of
fun. October 28th. I just looked it up. It's October 28th.
October the 28th. And again, if your organization is one that often says that we promote mental health, and we all want you to take those, what you call them, the use your PTO for when you're not feeling well, and self-care days. Have your organization go to them. I can send you a corporate sponsorship packet where they can actually put their money where their mouth is.
Exactly. Instead of telling teachers, oh yeah, we want you to take care of your mental health, but then I'm gonna give you a pizza party. That ain't helping me.
No, just making it fun.
That, thank you. All it's doing is adding calories. Okay, so for my mental health, I'm supposed to get free pizza. That's the best way. No. How about you cover this 6 and 7 period class while I truly get some mental health and leave early? That would help me a whole lot better than some pizza. That's all I got to say about that.
And Gretchen shared that she is a part of NAMI. She's a member of NAMI, and that she has had a mental disorder since the 80s. And one thing about it is, what I learned too is, it's important for individuals that suffer with mental disorder, that they don't want to be what the lady said. They don't want your sympathy. They want your understanding.
Correct.
They want you to be able to help them navigate and be capable of functioning at a place where they are comfortable. So, it was a lot of information, and I definitely went to the majority of the sessions that had the word youth attached to it. And I also went to one that was for the state of mental health for Black men. Oh, that was so good. And I have a YouTube video to share as well that they did a I wouldn't say a study, what you call it, a documentary. You're gonna get a spanking for leaving out of that room. I don't want to talk to you.
You need some mental health.
They did a documentary for the individuals, black men, but they did it in the setting of a barber shop. It was really good. So I definitely
You
share that.
was that like out last year? I think I may have seen something like
It's
that.
older. It's an older
It's a documentary, right?
project, but they filmed it in Florida. I want to say it was in Miami or Boca Raton area. They did a barbershop there. But there were men from Brooklyn and I think it was a couple other places from New York. So the film is dated. I want to say it was either 2014, 15, but it was good. It's called, I want to say it was called Faded Experiences. And it was good. I said, look, that's something to bring here to Tampa to have some faded conversations, some faded experiences, to have a couple of barbers, come together and, not so much as disclose some of the conversations. Yeah, basically share some of the conversations that they hear some of their clientele speak of, and maybe have a clinician that something to be able to spiral those conversations outwards versus just them spiraling in that space. But anyway,
correct. And it's because men do need to have a space where they can feel that they can share, they can be open to, and because we look to them as like leaders and heads of household, whatever. But they who do they pour their emotions out to? They need to have that space too, because I mean there's a lot of burden on men in society now. We speaking from the outside, but still you see it happening out there. And it's just yeah, it needs to be done. And there's also too to just show our boys too that it's okay to express themselves, because boys will hold in a whole lot, and then when they explode, it becomes hectic and chaotic. So we don't want that to happen to them. So shifting a little bit, let's talk about this what happened with this week with the school board, not the school board, the raises. Did you see the Okay, I know your just fix your face. Just fix it. Fix your face. Let's talk about that just for a second. In fact, I'll just go straight to the headlines. I'm gonna pull it up right here on my screen. It literally says Hillsborough Schools reaches tentative salary increase agreement with Employee Federation, and that the people. Let me read the key line right here. The agreed total package by the school district and HSEF union leadership totals 11.5 million in recurring. Let's use that word, that vocabulary. Recurring salary increases, and it will be a 16% salary increase to the bottom, the people who basically bus drivers, security officers, student nutrition, transportation, security, maintenance, custodial services, things like that. So your thoughts.
They deserve it, but does that still piss me off? Of course it does. It does. They just placate enough to be able to say we did something. So I'm gonna leave that alone.
Yeah. So I just wanted some thoughts, because I mean I've asked several people. I said, no, like I said, we truly agree that yes, those people really do need a raise, because a bus driver, have you gotten on the bus with people, children? I mean, student nutrition, cafeteria, maintenance, custodial work. No, those are some tough jobs. So yes, I agree absolutely and wholeheartedly. This is the reason why their turnover is so high, because
they know they got to do something, because they're losing them all to Amazon. Amazon came in this point with 2-3 big. They out of here.
Listen,
Amazon came in here and said, "Come drive for us." Yes. And Hart doing the same thing, and they leaving.
Yep,
they're leaving.
Listen, Amazon. Listen, even my regular Amazon truck drivers. He's a new dude now. Oh yeah, I just started last week. What? You knew? The other one know where to put the package. Come on. Anyway, so I had to train him. I got to train him. But anyway, so I'm just saying, y'all, do something. Y'all got to do better. You got to do better. So, but also we still here waiting on our little increases. So I'm just gonna leave it.
I'll be right back.
Leave it at that. Okay, go ahead. I'll leave it at that. Okay. So yes. So now we are looking at the fact that we were waiting on additional increases, additional money, right? And I was waiting for April to come back, because I wanted her to talk about the tie drive that she did at Franklin. Big shout out to Sam, who was raising money for that. And please remember, so while we're here, let me do my plug as well. Remember, even though summertime came and went, and a lot of these back to school book bag giveaways and things like that took place, right? It is September. We're in the middle of September. and there are already kids that still come to school and don't have what they need. Okay, because kids will play with stuff. They'll get the highlighters, they'll get the pencils, they get all the stuff, and they start playing around with it. So I am one of those people. All year long, I'm going to advocate for additional supplies, pencils, book notebooks, but especially pencils and pens, because we know that's something that you just run through. You can walk around the school campus and find pencils all over. You can give a child a pencil first period. That same pencil that you gave them, that you actually labeled and marked and, and put your name on, you can find it on the ground sometime around lunchtime. So when we ask for things, we really would appreciate it. And then for me, of course, in my class, any kind of snacks, send them water. I love that too, because I'm not sending people out my classroom. I know I talked about it earlier on the rant, and I just don't want to be out there. Yeah, have them wandering all around the school because they're looking for something that they can easily have access to from the teacher. So just wanted to share that with you all, please. But okay, good. April's back because I wanted to give a shout out again. I know if you heard to Sam and you for over there for the tie drive, and I really want you to people posted about it, but I really want you to go back a little bit and tell us about how everything started with the tie drive over at Franklin.
So we went to open house. Not open house. Was open house? Yes, back to school open house. And I have 4 boys here. So by that time, coins had got a little scarce. And I have custody of the boys, and it is what it is. I get that. But in the past, we were always able to ask a social worker, can we get a tie for the boys in order to, it's a need. It's a need. I'm a teacher. I'm on a budget. So therefore, it's a new social worker there this year. So the social worker went to go and ask the administrator, the principal, about getting a tie, due to a hardship at the moment. And the response was, yes, give them a tie, but give them one of the ties with BPA on the front. So we're thinking that it's just a tie that has the BPA logo on the front. It could have been a used tie. I don't care. That wasn't important. No, it was BPA written in large black Sharpie on the front of the tie. So you were presenting a child that a parent had exhibited a hardship at the time with the tie with the words written in black Sharpie that basically would single them out that they could not afford a tie.
Could you stop a second and just tell us what the BPA was? What did that actually
stand for? Franklin is a Boys Preparatory Academy. Okay, so they write it on the front of the tie to see. Okay. And let me go back again. At that time, a friend that was with me, and she basically was sharing that I am XYZ provider, and there are going to be kids that are going to be coming to the school that are currently homeless, and they're going to need help too. And the response was, they know they were coming to this school, so they know they had to buy the uniform, being uniform. And that is a part of the uniform. Now, what I also do know is that there's a PTA there that's very active that provide XYZ there. I also know that they have access to new ties that they can provide to kids that have hardships because the schools sell the ties. You can't order the ties like that. You can only buy them from the school. Now, maybe it's just me, but $25 for a tie is very expensive. That's very expensive. You could go to the average, store and get a tie for no more than about $7-10, and that get a tie for no more than like $7 to $10, and that includes the handkerchief. Sometimes they include the cufflinks and so on and so forth. So there has to be some fundraising mechanisms behind it, and that's not a problem either. The problem that I have is it's already all boys school. They already bully, pick, and all that on each other. Boys just being boys. But you are fueling a situation like that when you write on the front of a tie, giving not only students but teachers, because there are also adults. I won't say teachers, adults on campus that constantly remind the child, you got on this kind of tie, you ain't wear your tie. Like it's a constant badgering that happened to the child that have on those types of ties. So with that being said, PTA may have wanted to discount what happened by putting out their disclaimer about, what it wasn't meant to do, what the BPA written on the tie wasn't meant to do, but what they failed to identify is what it actually did. So don't discount how another person's child was made to feel, because as an advocacy group, that's not what we do. and I'm a part of it. That's not what we do. We identify what it is that we need to do in order to support that child and their families, not discount how it made them feel. And that's a problem for me, but I'm going to leave that alone for now, because that is actually disturbing, to be honest. It's disturbing.
Tell me how
about we're going to provide the tithe versus constantly being a part of the problem.
Yes.
You know, my children are solution driven. We put the call to action out there. We were able to collect funds for, I think it was 2025 tithes, donated them directly to the school for the social worker to be able to provide the tithes to children that exhibit a need, without any type of why you don't have a tithe, why this, and making a parent or a child feel even more uncomfortable about even bringing the attention to a school that's a Title I school, to a school that is a CEP school, meaning that the school, all the kids receive free and reduced lunch. That means, and it sits in the heart of East Tampa, off of 21st and 40th Street. So all those dynamics play a role in why that should have never been a part of the culture in that school. It should have never happened. Mm-hmm. It should have never happened. It should have never become a norm. And that's also, that was something that was stated when a school board member reached out and got response that it's always been this way and it's never been a problem. Why is a big deal kind of being made out of it? And I'm only ad-libbing on what was sold to me. And then it was also stated that this is being taken out of context. No, it's not. Again, you cannot say how a child was being made to feel. And I'm not talking about my child. Let's say that, because we were able to just script it up, get it on done. But it's also, anyway, I'll leave it at that.
Right. But I what I will say is that yeah, you're not taking into consideration the feelings of a child. I mean, it's as if to say people forgot what it's like to be in school, forgot what it's like to be around your peers, and you have less and they have a little bit something else, and you like you really don't believe all the stuff we've been talking about in terms of bullying. I mean, you see it on social media, you see it everywhere, and you don't think that kids ain't gonna pick on another child because you don't have what they have, or you have to, they know that you were given something versus just coming in there and it's like it makes no sense. And the excuse of saying, well, you know what type of school it was and when they registered. Okay, that really, so if I knew, so because this is my thought process. If I knew what type of school it was, that means I'm relying on you to make sure that we have everything we need for this particular school. Okay, that's just what it is.
Because the bottom line is still a public school. It is. It was made a whole graphic about, and then quote in the student handbook about each school has the choice to do X, Y, Z. It's still a public school, ma'am and sirs.
Yes.
It's still a public school.
We had a parent,
because we have a child that coming there with certain religious look. Don't get me going. But again, it's still a public school. Don't try to highlight the wrong in order to make it appear right to individuals that don't know the whole story. Exactly. I'm giving more than just a snapshot. You're responding to a situation versus picking up the phone and calling the PTA member or the parent and offering an assistance versus anyway.
Right. And let's piggyback on that. That's like also because I don't know about you and how, whether you're with progress reports after we took that hit, going back to that hacking incident, and we took the hit, and we try to resync our canvas to Synergy and all this stuff like that. Okay, we know that everything did not sync back up again, but so here go parents calling downtown saying the child, now these teachers messed up my child grade. The grade don't match the grade that they had in the progress report, don't match the grade on Canvas, and then everybody calling us and telling us parents blowing up the phone. I'm like, didn't y'all? No, I hate to say this to you, but it's called, one thing, it's called technology. That's first of all. Second, the whole school district took a hack. We were down. And then third, the fact that people's payroll didn't even hit on time. All of those things.
That was a little scary. That was
scary. That was scary as hell. I ain't gonna lie. Okay. That was some scary stuff. When I talk about, I could see my pay on Wednesday. My bank processed it on Thursday. My money hit Thursday. So when the fact that wait, it's Friday morning. What you did? Where my money at? So I was stressed out. But anyway, let's go back to that. So if you know that we've been hacked, we've been telling y'all forever, we've had some situations. What make you think it wasn't going to affect the report cards and the progress reports too? But so stop leapfrogging all the way to the people you want to call, because they ain't gonna do nothing anyway. I bet you they couldn't even respond because they didn't even know the stuff didn't connect. You have to literally go back in and resync everything back to the very beginning. So you give my child an F, calm down. First of all, let's verify whether or not your child really did get that F, because it could be correct. But yes, the Canvas had nothing to do with sentence. So basically, parents, when we put out a progress report, all the grades did not seem to match up. Whatever you saw in Canvas was one grade, but what it printed on the progress report was something else. But let's go run it back.
I'm glad your school still has the ability to print them, because we have to handwrite them like we did last
year. My God. But all we can tell you,
somebody need to call somebody and give somebody the training so that everybody know how to print it. Because we was doing every period like old days. Legs, take flight. Somebody call somebody to tell everybody how to print them.
Take flight.
Because we was doing, come in, get your progress report. Right. Y'all do something quiet at the seat and let me fill them all in. That's what we did. This, yeah. And we have, you mentioned that you all had conference night. Well, we have conference night tomorrow night on a Monday.
On a Monday?
Legs.
Just hit it. Just give me put the whole neck out there. Let me see. Flight, take it in. Snatch your life. Snatch your life. Snatch it. On a Monday?
So, under my doctor's care, I'm supposed to be on these good feet 2-hour increments and then off for 30 minutes to an hour, 2-hour increments. Now, we know that does not happen in my current job capacity. So when 3:30 hit, I'm gonna be taking flying out of there.
Clap it out.
And this is, to me, conference night is great. Any event that it was mandatory that the parents had to come. That's the only way it's great to me. Now, do we need to see our parents? No. But even the ones that's doing well, they're not perfect. Let's say that. Now, we know virtual work. We did it. So this antiquated system, I have to pack up and come to the schoolhouse and walk around. And I just think that's
right.
Most parents that I had to call and speak to, I already called and spoke to them.
Right.
I have.
COVID
I conference all the time. I conference all the time.
Yep. COVID trained us that it can be done virtually. I don't know why I can't just be in the house in my jammies and have this whole conversation with you. Hey, listen, here's what it is.
It will save some money, electricity. Right.
And then on top of that, you could slide on. Listen, it was wonderful because with the conference, I could actually share my screen and show you, okay, here's your child grade. Here's the work that they didn't do.
Not another parent breathing down your neck, waiting at the door.
Right. This literally, you got 50. I did mine as 5-minute increments. And I literally was 2 hours, 5 minutes a piece. I said, your time to log in is this time. To open, boom, 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 boom. We run right through. Put the screen up. Here's your child grade. We should never have to worry about that anymore. Everybody got the ability to do that. Or if anything, call on the phone. That's pretty much it.
And Gretchen shared that back in the day, her late mother always was going to PTA. And I will say that everybody that is a part of the community could join the PTA.
Yes.
Unless you have some type of criminal offenses towards the harm of children and adults. I will say that. But you can join the PTA and support other children. Support the children in your community. Join. On average, the most fees, because each school has their own PTA fees, are between $5 to $10. You could join multiple PTAs. Yeah. I'm at 3 different schools, I think. 3 different schools. And I'm pretty sure I will be joining more as it goes along. But again, everyone could join PTA. Please do so. It helps funds things that the kids need, and also it helps the PTA show appreciation for teachers as well during Teacher Appreciation Month. Week, day, correction. Week.
Okay. Week.
Yes. I said month, girl.
We need more than a week. All right. So 2 things I will throw out there for you. I from my understanding, I mean, my nieces have informed me. Tomorrow is supposed to be National Burger Day. I think it is. Everywhere you go, they said it's supposed to be $1 or 50-cent burgers from McDonald's and Wendy's. Now we don't know if every location will support it, but yes, that's what it is supposed to be tomorrow. Also, something else we're going to throw out there. There is going to be, I'm reading off the page, a legislative education forum which will take place on September 25th from 6 to 8 p.m. What we'll do is we'll drop that information off into the uh, messages as we go further on as we conclude. Okay, so right, okay, so all right. So we just wanted to yeah, I know them kids. I want to. Is there anything else that you wanted to add, like in terms of community things? I know that in East Tampa there is all community. The community meeting is taking place Thursday, and I'll drop information there as well. That is always the third Thursday of the month. And please feel free to join. And just like April said, be an active member of things like that, because you're never gonna you can't complain about stuff. And when things happen, you really just can't complain. You got to be there. You got to speak up. You got to speak your mind. You have to, because that's seriously important when you're trying to make a positive change, and especially if you have people who are all coming into your communities and they speaking more than you, and you complain. How is that possible? You can't have people, let people just move in the community and then start telling you how they feel about you living there. That's a big no-no. It's a big no-no. Anything else if you wanted to add?
Not necessarily. I will say that as we prepare to, you know, we have entered the halfway mark of this quarter. Parents, now is the time that if your child is not doing well in a specific class or classes, to seek the help at the school. Call the guidance counselor. Ask, are there tutoring opportunities at the school? Call the guidance counselor. If the opportunities are not at the school, what do you recommend outside of the school? Is there some free services within my community? Reach out now. Do not wait until the end of the 9 weeks to say, what can my child do? The answer is nothing, but try and do better in the current upcoming 9 weeks. First 9 weeks is the 9 weeks that you have your child do the best in. So if they do not necessarily do so well in the second quarter, meaning a D or above, that they had some type of wiggle room because they scored an A, B, or C in the first quarter. So again, I will stress it. Don't wait till 11:59 in late October saying, what can my child do? Nothing. It's the end of the first 9 weeks. Right. Now is the time. Don't come with saying, make up work that's been since the first week of school. It's not happening. Or the second, it's not happening. Or the third or fourth, it's not happening. We want them to be able to pick up where they are and move forward with a changed behavior in doing the work. Or if there's a true deficit in understanding the content, do something about it now. Do something. It's okay if your child don't understand it. Ask for your child to be tested if they're having constant issues in reading and math. There may be a deficit, specific learning disability. That is a real thing, and there's nothing wrong with having it. Some of us have it as an adult, and if your child is on any type of medications, if your child have asthma or any type of common disease that most people are like, oh, that ain't that big of a deal. Asthma is it's common, and a lot of times individuals that have asthma have sleep apnea that goes untreated. So we lose oxygen to the brain and we don't sleep. All of that stuff plays a role in a child being capable of getting the best sleep and doing the best academically. So bring those things up and let your physician know you need a letter to bring that to the school and have that information documented so the processes can begin. Stop having your child suffer in silence in those areas when there is supports that could be given to them academically. But I'll get off that soapbox.
But I'm glad you said that, because let me add to this. Parents, Axe body spray kills. I just want to say it kills. Axe body. When your child decides they're going to spray some Axe,
Holy Ghost,
in the classroom, and you know what? This is the defiance that I can't stand. A child will look you in the face and you tell that child, do not spray that in here. The law says we can't open the windows. The law says we can't. The doors must be sealed. You gonna spray some Axe body spray for fun? You don't know who is gonna kill in that classroom. I had a child had a whole entire he fell out completely because your child think it's funny to spray a cheap.
I tell him to go sit by the door.
Body spray. I'm like,
Sit by the
It
door.
kill bugs. Axe will kill a bug in the classroom. The bug flew through the cloud and just died like they're just dead. I mean, damn, stop it.
Don't buy Axe. Don't. Axe is killer.
It's a
and
killer.
then you could tell that they bought the cologne sprays.
The whole thing. They bought the whole
bag. Parents, teach them how to use it. One spray and a dab, and
and
a
one
dab.
spray outside down the hallway, 12 feet from the classroom. That's what it needs to be, because you could come in the class and you killing us, and they think it's funny. You killing us. They're killing the teacher, you killing the kids in the class, and it kills insects. Bugs are dying through the cloud. Stop.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry. I just have to say it one more time.
Oh
and then I
Axe.
A mass such.
That remind me back in the days when they first made the cologne Cool Water.
The Cool Water, David off Cool Water. I thought we were gonna die there. I thought we was gonna die there. Dead.
Look, and they still wearing it, and it's killing me to this day. I don't want to smell no cool water. Oh my God.
That's when Granddaddy comes.
Get cool water away from me. Get it away from me. I don't want to smell it.
You have to understand, parents. Listen, they just don't. Just because it costs $1 at Dollar Tree, just don't mean you have to have it. I'd rather you buy that kid candy than buy him some Dollar Tree Axe. Please stop. That's all I'm begging. I'm begging you.
Because I'm sure it's still $1, even though everything's $1.
Yes, because they're trying to get it off the shelves. Just trying to get it. Please, you're killing us. Stop it. Okay?
Oh,
and that's all. That's my PSA for the evening. I ain't got nothing else to do that.
Well, guys, we're going to make great efforts to stay on schedule, but life happens. Life happens, and when it does, we have learned how to stop and address it,
right,
and reconvene at a later time. But it has been great.
Yes.
And we are super excited to continue to explore. Oh, back up. Sunshine Education Coalition still works, guys. We still do things. We still answer questions. We still provide supports for families that reach out to us. So please note, just because we have chosen to not demonstrate the definition of insanity and constantly bring the same information to the same people, they chose not to do anything with it, we stop talking to them. Like we are not insane people. So therefore, we do what we can with what the information that we have, and we move forward. We will be reaching out, and you should too, to individuals that are currently in preparation to run for these different offices that you have their undivided attention right now.
Mm-hmm. Because right now they got a lot of forums. That's why I want to say they have a lot of forums. Please go to these forums. Go to the forum, ask crucial and critical questions, and also you can go back to our website, the Sunshine Education Coalition website, and look at some of the videos that we call forums that we've had, and where we're talking about all these different issues. The issues still exist. They didn't go anywhere. They ain't changed. Okay, so just go back, give yourself a refresher, and hit them hard. Well, everybody who's running for these offices, hit them hard with these questions, because they want your vote. Make them work for it. That's all we got to say about that.
And there it is. So we greatly appreciate you guys. This is Diversity and Equity in Education. And I am April Cobb with Beauty Blueprint Foundation.
And I am Denise Thomas with Carved Out Diva and Miss D Reeds. And we are so happy to see you. And we're going to tell you good night, spirit fingers.
Bye.